tranquility of the North African coastline is about to be shattered by some very big men. Well, Homer said it, so it must be true. Here, just 10 miles down the road from Tangier, in this very cave, the world's first strongman, Hercules, was born. Well, there's no resting with lions these days, but one thing you can be sure of, the contestants for this year's competition really will face some tasks that even Hercules would have balked at. Finland's Jukka Ahola winning the title in Las Vegas 12 months ago. And he's here on the North African coast in Tangier to defend his title, along with 39 other athletes from around the globe, from Fiji to Lithuania, Iceland to America. Glorious conditions, barely a cloud in the sky, a constant 80 degrees, in fact ideal for pulling a 7-ton truck. So to the rules of the competition. There'll be 10 heats, 4 competitors in each, and 4 strength disciplines. The winners of each heat go through to the final, and over the next 5 days, we're going to concentrate on those featuring strong men from Britain. So here we go with Heat 1.
Hi, I'm Fraser Tranter, and whilst there are no easy heats in this event, this one's probably the most difficult to predict. Derek Boyer, the Island Warrior from Fiji, he's one of the most colourful characters in the tournament, but he proved last year it wasn't all posturing when he made it to the final. Bert Zylstra from Holland, alongside me, one of the biggest men in the tournament, the first of 3 newcomers to the event in this heat. Kurt Kvigstad, Norway's #1 here in Tangiers, coming from a country of strongmen, means he has to be taken seriously, so I'll definitely be watching him. And me, Fraser Tranter, it's my debut here at World's Strongest Man. I've had a great season. I'm pleased to be invited to this event, so I will definitely be trying hard for Great Britain.
Well, Tangier is the gateway to the whole African continent. It's a major ferry terminal, and suitably enough, the first event is down by the harbour. It's called the Carry and Drag. Now get your head around this. Imagine walking down a track with 100 5-pound bags of potatoes hanging between your legs. It's a thought. And if it wasn't bad enough having to carry 200 kilos down the track, you've then got to drag 300 kilograms back up it.
This event really gets you in the thighs. It's really difficult just to keep the lactic acid, you know, from building up. And when it does build up, then that's when you really have to go. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to give it my best shot. And when that lactic acid's there, I'm just going to drive through it and go as hard as I can to the line.
Well, that's the view of the man who's got to do it. Here's Paul Dickinson describing how they all get on.
Kurt Kvigstad, Norway.
So the first man on his way out, and as a first-timer in World's Strongest Man, he's looking very nervous.
Wout Zylstra, the Netherlands.
Wout, 4 times the Dutch champion, a real character amongst this first group.
Fraser Tranter, England.
Fraser from Wolverhampton, 6 feet 6 and 21 stones in his first major international competition.
Derek Boyer, Fiji.
And Derek, the most experienced man here. And that's what you call getting yourself psyched up.
Stand by. Take your grip.
Referee Dougie Edmonds in charge. And as well as the thighs, as Derek Boyer was saying, the grip is really going to suffer here as well. 200 kilos, that's awesome. Well, Zylstra and Boyer away well. The Dutchman's second from the left. Tranter's gone a couple of metres behind already, and Kvikstad, well, he's not very quick at all. 25 metres, the first part of this test, and it's gone very quickly. Wout Zylstra and Boyer together. The chains and the anchor, 300 kilograms. That's like dragging three 15-stone men. Boyer just ahead. There goes Tranter. He's got a lot of work to do. Total commitment from both these guys. Boyer in first place. It looks as though it could be a big 4 points. That anchor has got to go all the way over the line. He can't stop there. Zylstra looks exhausted on the far side. A couple of meters to go for the Fijian. That's it. He's got 4 points. That's a brilliant win. Boyer takes the first event. Island Power's done it for Boyer. Zylstra, well, he's got another 25 seconds to finish the course. Tranter off the picture at the moment, but he's safe in third place. I don't think Wout Zylstra's going to be caught for second place, so he'll get 3 points. Exhaustion has really set in. Look at Fraser Tranter. Big groans all round. Tranter gets 2 points in his first ever World's Strongest Man competition. But the flamboyant and super strong Derek Boyer won it by a mile.
You almost made it look easy.
It's not easy. I'm just waiting for my soul to return to my body. It's not easy.
That looked unbelievably hard.
Yeah, I think we've got the worst draw in this heat. I believe that's the hardest event of the competition. It is a killer. The legs just pump up so quick, and then they just die on you. You're just like a drunken man, you know. You just can't get up.
So an excellent start for the big man from Fiji, but watch out for the Dutchman Wout Zylstra. He's going to get better as the competition goes on, and Fraser Tranter knows he's in a really tough heat. And so onto the beautiful sands of Tangier, a few mandatory camels ambling past, and ideal conditions for working up a serious sweat. This now is the second event, the deadlift hold. You thought 500 kilograms was a lot. Wait for this. This is more than double, getting on for 1,300 kilograms. They have to lift this car up and hold it for as long as they possibly can.
Well, those lifting straps are certainly going to help. The grip, surely, one of the first things to give up. And not only have we got the car to lift up as well, if it wasn't hard enough, there are 2 people inside each one as well. The clock will start as soon as they stand up. Fraser's up okay, a little bit of a wobble. But the time starts now. Kvikstad is really struggling even to get the car up. Oh, my goodness. Away he goes, so it's now a question of the tortoise and the hare. Tranter, 15 seconds. Well, Fraser almost looks as though he's going to blow a gasket already. Look at the straps cutting into the wrist. Kvikstad, oh, he's really struggling already. And Tranter's gone down. That's a surprise. 30 seconds. So he could be caught by the Norwegian, who started much, much later. And Kurt has passed him. Looking pretty steady. Norway in the lead at the moment. Oh, he was almost bent double with that weight. 38 seconds, and the baking heat hasn't helped here either. That's a pretty good time for the others to go for. Zylstra and Boyer doing their bit to get ready, and they now know exactly just how hard this event is.
It's a deadlift hold. It's very difficult event. Your whole body is shaking, and it's a surprise what will be first stopped. Your neck, your back, your breathing, your grip. It's always waiting what is the weakest point of your body. So you don't know it before.
He'll know any minute now, that's for sure. Both men being strapped on, and Boyer being helped by former world's strongest man Jamie Reeves from Sheffield.
Ready. Lift.
It's a big, big lift to even start this event off. And both men away together. 38 seconds to beat, and Fraser-Trant has 30 seconds if they want to avoid last place. Both looking rock steady at the moment. "20 seconds. Well, I'm not sure what Zylstra keeps muttering. Whatever it is, it's working. And both men getting tremendous support. They've gone past Fraser-Trant's time. The man from Wolverhampton will only pick up 1 point in this event. Ahead now of the Norwegian. This is a real head-to-head competition. My goodness, this is a tremendous effort. Fantastic times, over a minute. That is unbelievable. Even the passengers in the back of the car must think this is pretty good. I swear his arms are stretching all the time. Boyer gritting his teeth. He wants another 4 points here for first place. Boyer, a back as strong as steel. Past 90 seconds, this is unbelievable. Oh, Zylstra shaking. He's very unsteady on his feet now as well. Almost bent over towards the car. Oh, he's gone. Second place once again. And the Fijian has done it. 2 events out of 2.
I win.
Oh, Boyer asking if he won. Yes, he did. Great stuff.
That was a serious competition.
All I was looking at was a reflection of my opponent in the car, and that's all I had to focus on.
Could you see his face?
No, just the back of his head. But
His face didn't look too good.
oh, probably neither did mine. He's a very, very tough guy, and for me to beat him, I feel very happy.
Was it just a question for you there of just doing the extra 1 second more than him? You were going to let the moment he went down.
Well, he took me to the absolute brink of my my strength, and I didn't have too much more.
The legs was not a problem, the back. I couldn't hold him, so I have to go. I couldn't straighten my back, so that was a problem.
You were screaming as though you were in real agony, were you?
Yes, yes, of course. I think this heat is a fight between me and Derek. And I lost now 2 points. I didn't expect that, but okay, he's strong. So, but we have 2 events to come. I have to win both. So there's a lot of pressure now on me.
Pressure because it's 2 out of 2 now for Boyer. He won that heat by 5 seconds, and that effectively means it's a 2-horse race now. At the halfway stage, Boyer knows that 1 more win will put him out of sight, and he needs to reach the final again to make up for a disappointing showing last year. Something certainly to shout about.
I come from a proud warrior race, and in the olden days, we would perform our war dance before battle. We would call out to our ancestors to come down and give us great strength and spirit and courage in battle. The second part of the war dance, we issue a warning to the invaders that we have a special power over them and that every one of them today will die. Anna Viribiri na Kamubai! Anna Viribiri na Kamubai! The third part of the war dance. Where I come from, we do a lot of fire walking. In the olden days, fire was the hardest element. And we say we are tested and proven warriors. And we are ready for battle. Tala Talambuka! Tala Talambuka! Yay! And I am ready for battle.
The Tangier skyline boasts an array of mosques, and right in the heart of the city, the third event, the winch. Pull a bus 30 meters, easy.
Well, the first man to go in this event is Kurt from Norway, 3 points from 2 events, equal last place at the moment with Fraser Tranter. It's hard to imagine at this stage, halfway through the first heat, that he can actually make it into the final. If he wants to do that, he's going to have to produce something very special here indeed.
Take the spray! Go!
So this massive bus on its way, slowly but surely. A bit like London buses in the rush hour. We're not going to see lots of speed here, but we're going to see fantastic efforts from each competitor. 30 meters. They've got to grind this winch round and round as fast as possible. Halfway down the course, it's not a bad time. Only the second time this competition has been in World's Strongest Man, and it's always a tough one. The arms are going to be burning now. It's about 40 seconds, a meter to go. Just over 42 seconds for the Norwegian, and that is what the rest have to follow.
Fraser Tranter, England.
Fraser Tranter staying in the shade. It's desperately hot out here, over 90 degrees. And like the Norwegian, Fraser's first real taste of the big time in Strongest Man. And he already knows it's very, very tough indeed.
Ready! Take the straight! Go!
Now he's got to get those big 20-inch arms working as hard as possible.
Hey!
The Norwegian, there's his time, 42 seconds, that's the target, and he's making good progress. I think Fraser's height at over 6 feet 6 inches is going to help him here. He's towering over the winch. 15 meters in about the same time as Kurt. This could be close. I think he's actually speeding up. Just a couple of meters to go. This is going to be fast. Oh, that's an excellent time. 38 seconds, a cracking effort. Fraser in the lead, but the big two still to come. Fraser Tranter, his broad shoulders have done very, very well there. It could be his best event yet.
Thoughts on that?
It wasn't as bad as what I thought. Just getting it going was hard, and then just keeping a steady momentum.
Well, Zylstra knows he's got a real job on here, trying to get in the right frame of mind as well.
Some of the people taking part here believe in meditation to get themselves all sorted out. What do you do?
Of course. I make myself angry and crying, there between. That makes me strong. The body can do a lot. When you are in situations, your wife is under a car or under a... You can lift it when you're angry and strong, and so you must make your mind so that you make yourself angry and crying there between. So then you have more power than ever.
So are you angry now?
I try it when I see you, maybe. No.
Well, I hope not. Mind, that man Infidel is pretty fast on his legs when he needs to be. Now, you heard what Fraser Tranter had to say. The start is going to be crucial. It's got to be fast. And Wout himself said that after the last event, he must win the next two to have any hope of taking the qualifying spot for the final. Going pretty well. He's got massive arms, this man. And approaching 15 meters faster than the other two. This is looking good for Zylstra. He must have learned something from watching the other guys. 10 meters to go. He's absolutely flying. Fraser Tranter's 38 seconds is going to be beaten. He's got it. 4 seconds into the lead. That is a tremendous effort by Wout Zylstra. What can Derek Boyer do in response to that? An absolutely staggering time.
Derek!
Calling for Derek now. Boyer getting ready for his personal battle. This now needs total commitment.
Good enough?
I think it's very close. We saw the other guys. Now I'm hoping and praying that he will not be faster.
Will you watch him, or are you going to stay in here and just close your eyes?
I watch him. I watch him.
I'll tell you what, everybody's going to be watching Derek Boyer. 2 events out of 2 so far. Can he make it 3?
Derek Boyer, Fiji.
Get ready!
Now, what about this start? It's got to be good. Oh, he's struggling just a little bit. He's got to keep tension on that rope. And this is not good for the Fijian. Remember as well, Fraser Tranter's time of 38 seconds. This is comparatively slow. Only halfway, and it's way, way off the pace. Well, he's accelerating just a little bit. 10 meters to go now, but time is running out. It looks as though Zylstra could get his first win. Yes, he has. Now, what about Tranter's time? Tranter takes second and Boyer in third. That is a big surprise. And Boyer knows he's blown it. It's all going to be down to the last event. That is a big 4 points for Wout Zylstra.
I'll let the good work I've done for the last 2 days. I really stuffed it up, you know. I'm very disappointed. It's the first time event for me, and I really didn't get a good grip on the start, and I really messed it up on the start.
Did you know you were behind the pace early on?
Oh, yes. I think it sort of played on me a little bit too, because I was trying to play catch-up, you know. But, you know, you win some, you lose some, huh?
What about tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's a new day, and I really have to get it together, and anything can happen.
So suddenly it's wide open with Zylstra's victory, and Boyer only picking up 2 points after finishing third, almost 2 seconds behind Fraser Tranter. And that means the big 2 will go head-to-head in the final heat. Winner take all for a place in the final.
I sleep better now, okay? When I lost of him, it was over. Now I'm in the race. And tomorrow I win.
And it's back to the harbour for the 4th event, the tyre flip, and the winner of this will claim a place in the final. It's a 30-metre course down which you have to flip this 300-kilogram tyre, and you've got just 90 seconds to do it in.
Well, in actual fact, Fraser and Kurt have been already. Neither completed the course, but neither man had a chance of going through to the final. We're going to concentrate on the top 2.
Zylstra, Netherlands.
Zylstra so impressive throughout the course of this heat and looking more and more confident all the time. Massive tyres, 300 kilograms each down the course. It's going to be very tough. And Derek Boyer, the clear leader at the halfway stage, but competed poorly in that last event. It's neck and neck, and now, after this event, winner takes all and goes through to the final.
On the spot, boys.
There's a lot of tension out there.
Ready!
Oh, Zylstra's quickly away, very fast with the first turn. Boyer is behind, clearly. Mind you, there's tremendous support for Derek Boyer. He's been a real entertainer here. But look at the advantage now that Vat Zylstra has got. Going past Kirk Fiksat's marker on the far side of the course. No problem with that. I think he's going to finish the course and be the first man to do that. Derek Boyer could lose his chance of a final place here. Zylstra has come from behind so well. 90 seconds is the time limit. I don't think Zylstra's going to need that. Derek Boyer is going to be so disappointed. Zylstra, what, one more turn, possibly two, and he's going to make it. He's got it. It's just gone over the line. His first time in the final. What a finish. And what a character as well. Derek Boyer must have thought this was going to be his year. He's absolutely gutted.
We were equal, but I know I was strong today. When I wake up this morning, it was good in the mind. So it was no problem. Now we go for a final.
I can't tell you how bad I feel. But Wout deserved to win today. He's a stronger man than me today. And I give him full credit. He's done a good job. But there will be a next time we meet. And things will be different.
Zylstra, the only man to complete the course in the allotted time, leaving Boyer broken and in third place. And so it's Zylstra who goes through to the final, and for Fraser Tranter, a good debut performance, but he knows there's considerable room for improvement. In today's other heat, it was all about one man, Riku Kiri from Finland, a veteran strongman who's been the Finnish champion for more than a decade. And so by winning that heat, he becomes our second man through to the final without too much bother. So a North European monopoly in the final so far, a Finn and a Dutchman, with Zylstra, a meat controller from Friesland, coming through after a titanic battle. Well, congratulations. I mean, obviously pretty impressive performance to have won your heat like that, but let's face it, you're losing it, aren't you? Your hair. In our next programme, Russell Bradley, Britain's strongest man, takes on the runner-up last year, the Great Dane, Flemming Rasmussen. We'll see you then.
And that's at 3:35 on Bank Holiday Monday afternoon. How's your team done? Final score with all the Boxing Day results next on BBC One.
Welcome back to Tangier, where the world's strongest man's going to be crowned this week. And you know, these guys are seriously big. You and I consume between 1,500 and 2,000 calories worth of food every day. These fellas are talking in excess of 7,000. That's hundreds of these things. In our opening programme, Wout Zylstra of Holland came through a furious head-to-head battle with the Fijian Derek Boyer. Boyer took an early lead, but he fell away badly as the Dutchman won the last two events. And Zylstra now looks a good outside bet for the title. In the other heat, the veteran Finn Riku Kiri simply tore his three opponents apart. And having claimed a place in the final, they now have the luxury of sitting back and watching the rest struggle. So 2 men through to the final already. We're still waiting to find out who the other 8 will be. And there are 2 further heats today with considerable British interest in one.
Hi, my name's Russ Bradley. I hate cameras, and I reckon I've got myself into a pretty tough heat this year. The biggest danger is Flemming Rasmussen. He's Denmark's strongest man. He's vastly experienced in this event and came second in the final last year. I'll have to keep a close eye on Gino Dupuis, the French-Canadian. He's a full-time professional strongman, and he's put on a lot of weight and strength since last year. Next up is Martin Muir from Germany, possibly the world's top amateur, but this is his first major professional event. Then it's me. I'm Britain's #1. I gained a lot of experience in this event last year, and I plan to be challenging all the way for a place in the final.
We're down at the harbour for the opening event, the centre of commercial life in Tangier for centuries and a mere stone's throw from Spain. And the first event is something that you and I would have nightmares over. This is the Super Yoke. It weighs 355 kilograms and they have to carry it down the course as quickly as possible. So let's put this event in some kind of context. It's the equivalent of carrying 2 of me on each shoulder and 1 on my head and then running 25 metres that away.
The most difficult thing in this event is to keep up the speed and hold it steady. And it's really going to hurt in my calf.
Never mind the calves, what about the shoulders? Let's join Paul Dickinson to describe the event.
Last year's runner-up, Flemming Rasmussen, he'll be the first out, weighing in at a very trim 25 stones. He's a great competitor. Speed's important, but balance is absolutely crucial.
Bradley, England.
Russ in his second World's Strongest Man competition, a comparative lightweight at only 20 stones.
Gino Dupuis, Canada.
Gino Dupuis, the man with the rolling stomach, and another great character in World's Strongest Man.
Martin Muir, Germany.
And Muir, well, Germany have always produced great strength competitors.
Get ready.
Dougie Edmonds, as always, the referee, a former international shot putter. So, which one of these 4 will get away to the best start? 4 big points for the winner, as always. And Dougie Edmonds, a brilliant Highland Games competitor in his day. Now, what about the start? It's Rasmussen and Bradley on the far side. The German not going too badly too, but Gino Dupuis struggling. Muir way back, but look at Flemming Rasmussen on the far side. He's almost sprinting away and he's finished already. That is unbelievable. Russ Bradley finishes in second place. Oh, Russ really hurting at the end there. But Rasmussen was outstanding. Martin Muir of Germany has just finished as well. And Gino Dupuis, the Canadian, really struggling halfway down the course. He's going to finish up with just a single point. But Flemming Rasmussen was simply outstanding.
I showed Ross how I looked from behind, and no, that was good. Good race. I could see him the first 10 meters in my eye, and I tried to speed up a little bit. It paid off.
At what point did you think, I've got to just complete this and I'm not going to win it?
Well, about halfway down the course, it started to dig in the bone in my back. It became very painful, so I just, rather than go too quick, I just had to finish the course. That hurt.
Good start for you, though.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Could have been better, but I'm happy with that.
Happy with second behind the Big Dane, but a quite sensational time of just over 13 seconds by Rasmussen. Muir third, Dupuis fourth. And so down to the beach for the second event. Golden sands, blue skies, simply perfect conditions, and this is a real test of strength. And you had trouble putting your Christmas tree up. This is a very big tree, or at least it was. Now, it's just a very big log. And that's all it is. This giant tree trunk weighs 380 kilograms. That's the equivalent of bench pressing 115
I've been training for this exercise, and what am I expecting is the big rush into the deltoid, trapezius, lower back, and the legs will be involved in the calf. But the key here is explosion, explosion, explosion. If you're not exploding, you wear out. That's it.
Gino Dupuis, Canada.
Well, they're always so technical, these guys. Basically, what the Canadian is trying to say is it's going to hurt all over.
Take your position.
The equivalent of lifting a 17-stone man over the head as many times as possible.
Lift. 1,
Well, he's away well.
2.
This is just about as close as you'd come to a weights exercise in a gymnasium, but this is seriously heavy, as John was saying.
6.
He's got to lock the arms out each time.
8.
A little push with the legs as well, that helps.
10.
And that's 10 repetitions. Dupuis is going very well.
12.
Impressive. He's going to start running out of oxygen soon. These big men don't really like the endurance events, and this is real endurance in the arms and shoulders. The crowd will scream for one more. Oh, he's got it, just 17. That is going to be tough to beat. He asks how many? 17 it is. Oh, I think he liked that. Great stuff. Great entertainment as well.
So Gino very happy with his score of 17. Next up, Martin Muir. He managed just 8, and that was a total that surely wouldn't bother Flemming and Russell. Still to come.
Russ Bradley next.
Bradley.
Just a single point behind Flemming Rasmussen after the first contest. I wonder if he's recovered from that contest as well. His back was hurting a lot.
Set.
It's a big total that Dupuis has set. 17.
1.
Now, the first few repetitions should give us some clue as to how well Russ is going to go.
4.
Looking pretty good so far.
5. 6.
He's actually increased his rhythm now, and this is looking very good for the British number 1.
9. 10.
Well, these men always talk about lactic acid. That's when the muscles start to feel heavy and slow, and it should just about start kicking in now. A couple to go to draw level. Now, come on, Russ, you're nearly there.
17.
He's got 17. Can he do one more? Yes, he can. He's in the lead. Oh, he couldn't quite do 19. Good stuff from Russ Bradley, and he's loving it, and so are the crowd.
That's good, isn't it?
It's always been my worst event, so I put hours and hours of shoulder training in, and although it's not going to win, very pleased.
What were you expecting to do?
Set myself a target of 14, so that's a bloody miracle.
So you'll watch the next one with interest now?
I'm not watching it. I know Fleming's going to beat it. He's probably the best presser on the planet at this minute.
Well, that's some compliment coming from Russ.
Denmark.
But Flemming Rasmussen has massive shoulders and arms as big as most people's legs. There's going to be great support for this man. Now, Rasmussen already clarifying the rules with Dougie Edmonds. He's had problems with this type of competition before, where you must lock out the arms for the repetition to count. Be interesting to see what happens. Edmonds saying take it lower, down to the chest, but Rasmussen gets away. A little bit shaky. Oh, he's disallowed one already. And Flemming, not happy. Gives Dougie Edmonds the evil eye, that's for sure. 10 repetitions. He did so well to take second place in the final last year, and he wants to go all the way this time. Early days yet, there's a long, long way to go. That's a good 17 repetitions, 18 to draw level with Bradley. And the referee says yes, 19 repetitions, but I reckon he disallowed at least 2 along the way. Maximum points once again for Flemming Rasmussen.
Russ said that he had no doubt that he hadn't done enough. Were you confident you could get 19?
Yeah.
What is the most, do you think, that you could do, given perfect conditions and feeling in tip-top condition?
I think that depends a little of the other guys. If they do 18, I just have to do 19. If they do 25, maybe I can do 26.
But 19 was enough to claim the 4 points, and Rasmussen clearly in very confident mood, and Gino's 17 was only good enough for 3rd place. So the group is clearly splitting into 2 now, with an Anglo-Danish battle materialising for a place in the final. Food for thought. These guys are big, but how did they get to be so big? Well, they eat a lot. You and I consume between 1,500 and 2,000 calories worth of food every day. They're talking in excess of 7,000. So let's take you on a daily food shop for one of the world's strongest men. Well, it goes without saying that a lot of the calories these guys consume is in the shape of protein drinks, but they do still eat 6 square meals a day, which roughly approximates to 10 oranges, a dozen eggs, 10 bananas, 5 lettuces, 5 loaves of bread, 5 pounds of tomatoes, 20 sausages, 5 pounds of potatoes, and 2 scrawny chicken. So all I've got to do now is sell this stuff, but by the look of things, I'm not going to have too much bother. Meanwhile, back at the competition, and the mosque is the setting for the 3rd event, called the Hercules Hold, and what you need to know here is the 2 cars weigh in excess of 1,000 kilograms each. Well, this, they say, is the easiest exercise of all. All you have to do is just stand here for as long as you possibly can, holding these 2 cars together without letting them drift down the hill. Apparently, it's all in the mind.
It's going to be close. This should be a good event for me. Should be. I've trained very hard on it. I've always done quite well at Hercules Hold in the past. So if I was going to play an ace, this was going to be it. The most important thing to do is to get your stance and get your arms as locked out as possible before they release the cars. Otherwise, if one of the vehicles jerks your arms out, there's a good chance you can lose your grip. I just hope that doesn't happen to me.
And I'm sure Martin Muir hopes it doesn't happen to him either. Russ Bradley actually goes third. The clock has started for the German. Looks fairly relaxed. He's got to stay in an upright position, otherwise referee Dougie Edmonds will disqualify him. 15 seconds, looks comfortable. Hanging on for all he's worth. He's got to try and block out the pain in the hands and the shoulders as well. There's not a lot of action in this contest. It looks easy, but I promise you, it's unbelievably painful. This is a good time. It's going to be tough for the rest to follow this. Martin Muir hanging on desperately. As soon as they start to shake, you know that the strength is being sapped away from the arms, and especially in the hands and the fingers. 50 seconds, it's 53, and that is a tough target for the rest. Surely Martin's best effort yet.
Martin Muir, 53.09 seconds.
53 seconds, happy with that?
53 point, no, don't know.
Not happy?
Yo, I'm very happy.
Yeah?
It's my event.
Gino Dupuis next, down in equal third place with the German, but Martin Muir, I'm sure, will now be confident he's going to pick up some good points here. So the Canadian just checking that everything is absolutely right. He really does love his strongman competitions. Professional strongmen from Canada, French-speaking as well as English. And the crowd already carrying on from where we left off on the beach. Almost ready. The clock starts now, and there's the target for everybody to beat. 53 seconds. Incredible effort. This man loves competitions where it's mind over matter. It almost looks as though his arms are being pulled out of the sockets. The arms and the chest are really burning with effort, that's for sure. Underneath the burning sun, and he's gone. 26 seconds, and that is that. Oh, his hand's obviously suffering here. But there are two men still to go, and that could just be a single point for Dupuis.
You had some cuts on your hand before that.
Yeah.
How bad were they for that?
Well, look, I'm all open. I was all open, all cracked, so...
Could you not have taped them or worn gloves or something?
Not allowed to. No tape, so... That's how it is, it's life.
Are you disappointed with that?
I'm disappointed, of course. I know I've trained for grips, but my hand cracked yesterday. Not much I can do about it.
Russ Bradley, England.
Gino must sweat it out now. Russ Bradley. Well, Russ is in great shape, but even he needs to produce something special here with Rasmussen in such great form. He's getting support from all over the place, is Russ Bradley, even one of the drivers of the cars. It's difficult, you know, to think of any way of actually training for an event like this. And that time of 53 seconds is looking better and better for the German Martin Muir.
Tell me when you're ready.
Now then, he's just got to make sure that the car's edged down just a little bit to get it at arm's length. Now the other one.
Ready?
Away we go. Well, despite the fact it's early evening here, the sun going down over the horizon, it's still pretty hot, and the competition is really hotting up as well. 26 seconds, the time of Dupuis. That's the first target. And then this awesome time of Martin Muir. Getting close to the Canadian, and he's gone past it. That's an extra point for Russ Bradley. But how much more has he got? Oh, he's beginning to shake. He's getting a little bit lower. Oh, he's gone. 40 seconds in second place. Muir still has a big lead, but Russ has moved into second for the time being. Still, Flemming Rasmussen to come.
Russ Bradley did 40.55 seconds.
Maybe not the ace.
No?
No, it's a lot of, I've got a lot of pain in the middle of my back from that super yokes the other day, and I was trying to get comfortable, and it was pulling and pulling and pulling. In the end, it was stopping me from breathing, so it's a bit disappointed with that. It's a respectable time, but needed another 15 seconds, I think.
Flemming Rasmussen, Denmark.
Well, Flemming has got hands like shovels. He should have a grip of iron, but who knows? Looks can be deceptive. Looking relaxed. 3 wins in a row would be quite unbelievable in this standard of competition. He certainly had a few words with Dougie Edmonds after that last contest where a couple of his repetitions were disallowed, but all that is forgotten now. There's another 4 points at stake here for Flemming Rasmussen.
Okay, Flemming, tell me when it's okay. Little bit, Billy. Little, very slowly.
Easy does it.
Yes.
He's ready. The last man. And still 53 seconds. Stands up as the best time so far from the first competitor, Martin Muir of Germany. And remember Russ Bradley's time as well. Russ currently in second place at 40 seconds. No movement whatsoever. Rasmussen rock steady. He's gone past Dupuis easily. And now bearing down on Russ Bradley's time, but he's gone 32 seconds. That is a big surprise for the overall leader. Germany win, and Russ Bradley picks up his 3rd second place in a row.
So a victory for the German, perhaps surprisingly, with Rasmussen performing well below expectations. And that was a result which threw the whole group wide open. Only Dupuis completely out of contention for a place in the final going into the last event.
It's going to be all on the tyre flip tomorrow, but it's going to be a combination of which wins, whether it's the nerves affect me too much or the confidence and the inner strength takes over. We've got to wait and see.
Looking forward to it, though.
I am, yeah. I like a bit of pressure, but I'll be giving it 200% tomorrow. I can guarantee you that.
Russell's 200% required down at the harbour, where this group is going to be decided, and an expectant crowd are there to see the tyre flip. This is where the guys have to move a 300-kilogram tyre down a 30-metre course as quickly as they can.
And this is absolutely fascinating. Martin Muir heading Gino Dupuis by some distance. And if he can maintain this position after Bradley and Rasmussen have gone, well, there's an outside chance the German can go through to the final. Oh, we'll just have to wait a few seconds as the last two get ready to see what's going to happen. Martin Muir, brilliant in the last event. Can he hang on to first place and go through to the final?
Well, those markers are all important, so let's be clear about exactly how the group stands at this stage. The onus on both Rasmussen and Bradley. If the Dane wins his heat, he's through to the final. Russell has to finish 2 clear places in front of him to be the first Briton into the final. Martin Muir can still make it if Rasmussen comes last. So the ball is very clearly at the Dane's feet.
Flemming looking relaxed. He's a very experienced competitor and knows precisely what has to be done. Oh, Russ Bradley falling behind already. This is not good news for Great Britain. Rasmussen away to a cracking start. We've seen some tremendous finishes in these competitions, and this, I think, is going to be another one. Rasmussen looking confident, approaching the mark set by Gino Dupuis, and that will be enough. Oh, Russ Bradley, he gave his all in the previous 3 events, but now I think he knows he's not going to take that precious place in the final. Flemming just glancing over his shoulder. He knows he's done enough, and he wants to finish it off in style. Pacing himself. 10 seconds to go. I think he does want to win it, and win it well. He's heading heading for that place in the final once again. Flemming Rasmussen does it. And Ross Bradley's challenge, although valiant, is gone.
How do you feel now about your group having won it? What was the crucial event for you, do you think?
This one definitely. Because I knew I had to beat Ross, and just have to go for it. Super.
So half the job is done, you're in the final. What are your thoughts about the final now?
Oh, ask me again just before the final. I don't know now.
But what he does know is that he won that fourth event, and Russell Bradley faded away when push came to shove. Or should that be flip? And Rasmussen won the group by 4 clear points in the end, with Muir in second place by virtue of having actually won one event, and Bradley was a disappointing third. In the day's other heat, the giant Icelander Torfi Olafsson was locked together after 4 events with the Finn Jani Vatanen. It all came down to a sudden death race-off.
And it's winner take all in this shortened 15-metre course. Vatanen giving away 35 kilograms in body weight to the biggest man in World's Strongest Man, 29 stones of Icelandic strongman. Grit and determination from the Finn, but Olafsson already just ahead. Iceland, the greatest ever nation in World's Strongest Man competition, look as though they're going to have a man in the final again. Olafsson is coming away. I don't think Vatanen's got anything left. It's going to be Torfi Olafsson, and he's got it.
Yes! Yes! I am not finished! I am Icelandic! Not finished! Icelandic! Ah!
Did you have any worries beforehand?
No, no so just get it done, get it over with, and be in the finals.
And he is, and it's a European monopoly at the moment. And just in case you needed clarification, Torfi is not from Finland, he's from Iceland. It's Kiri, Zylstra, Olafsson and Rasmussen, 25 stone of Danish bacon. Well, well done, but, I mean, you know as well as I do that 99 times out of 100, Russ would have beaten you, and really, you're quite fortunate to be in the final, aren't you? Next time, Jamie Barr from Scotland, a physiology student, hits his strength against one of the tournament favourites and a real crowd pleaser, the giant Swede, Magnus Samuelsson. See you then.
And the next heat is tomorrow at 3:35 here on BBC One.
Still in Tangier, still looking for the world's strongest man. In yesterday's heats, Flemming Rasmussen of Denmark was up against Russell Bradley of England. It looked close for a while, but in the end the Dane was too big and too strong and claimed his place in the final. Talking of size, the biggest man in the tournament, Torfi Olafsson of Iceland, all 30 stone of him, made it through as well. And that's how it stands at the moment, with a Finn and a Dutchman completing the heat winners to date. 6 more places up for grabs. We'll discover 2 more finalists today. So we're almost halfway through now our quest to find the strongest man in the world. And just to remind you how this whole thing works, there are 10 heats, 4 disciplines in each and 4 competitors in each. And the winners of each of those heats go through to the final at the end of the week. Today, we're going to focus on the Scottish Challenge.
Hi, I'm Jamie Barr. Some say this is the toughest heat of the lot, but we'll see. The reason is this guy, Magnus Samuelsson. The Scandinavians are always strong, and he's one of the strongest. A big favourite with the fans, he's a big fella and a big worry. Michael Abdullah, born in Lebanon, lives in Australia but works in Japan. Another colourful character, and he'll certainly get the crowd behind him. Wayne Price, a vastly experienced strongman and a true gentleman among giants. I've competed against Wayne before at the Highland Games and I know he's a tough character. And now me, Jamie Barr, born and raised in Fife. I'm up for it.
Flags flutter in the gentle breeze as we begin down by the harbour. Fishing smacks heading out to sea, but there's no room for small fry in this heat. You know how hard it is to get a washing machine between the tumble dryer and the sink? Well, imagine carrying one washing machine in each hand and then taking it 50 metres. That's what these guys are about to do. It's called the Farmer's Walk, though when did you last see a farmer doing this? And each cylinder weighs 120 kilograms.
Well, basically this event is primarily, it's harder on your grip than anything else, but you've got to watch not go too slowly, otherwise the grip burns out, but if you go too quickly then your legs will burn out. And basically when they finish this event your arms feel like they've been pulled out of your sockets.
So watching the arms and the sockets for us, Paul Dickinson.
Jamie Barr, Scotland.
And this is a big moment for Jamie Barr to try and make it through to what is definitely going to be a fantastic final. One of the hottest days we've had so far, 95 degrees.
Wayne Price, South Africa.
Wayne, bodybuilder turned strongman. One of the strongest men the African continent has ever produced.
Michael Abdullah, Japan.
And when he's not doing his strongman shows in Japan, he's a primary school teacher. He has no problems whatsoever with discipline, that's for sure.
Magnus Samuelsson, Sweden.
Samuelsson, a really big favourite. He's already won a number of competitions in Europe this year.
Stand by.
50 metres of sheer purgatory ahead for these guys.
Flags. Watches.
Jamie Barr on the far side. His first ever World's Strongest Man competition.
Left.
Away we go. Oh, Samuelsson sprinting ahead already. Jamie Barr down in about third place. Wayne Price just ahead of him. He's got to try and keep his head up, turning round, and Samuelsson nearly lost it there. There's his wife, Christine, urging him on as usual, and Magnus Samuelsson coming away to win it by a street. That is incredible, and it looks so easy. Wayne Price in second place. Jamie Barr some way behind, but 4 points for Sweden already. Now, come on, Jamie. 2 points is better than 1. Well done for the Scot. Michael Abdullah stranded halfway down the course. A single point for him. Abdullah finding it so hard. There is a time limit, 90 seconds. He'll desperately want to finish this first event. But in some ways, he may be better off just calling it a day now and saving the energy for the events to come. That's it. I think he's had enough. Samuelsson, the winner. He was a class apart from everybody else.
In a straight line, I can do around 35 seconds with this 100 meters.
And what about without that? What would you run as an athlete?
No idea. I'm like a truck, you know, same speed with load or no load.
Going down, we were quite level, I think. I knew that if I do a quick changeover, I'll be right on him again. And I thought I could have beaten him, but just one of those things.
Where does that sort of sit in the good events for you? Are you glad to have that one out of the way?
Well, that was my worst one. That's behind my back, so let's go on with the rest of them.
I no need to bend down to tie my laces anyway. My arms feel like they're hanging out my sockets. My grips. That was hard.
It's always nice to win the first one because it takes a lot of pressure away. Especially because my best event is coming in the end. So this is a nice relief for me.
And you get some fantastic support from your wife, don't you?
Yeah, she's a lovely woman, that's why I married her.
Well, if Jamie Barr and the others didn't know beforehand, they certainly know now. Samuelsson is going to be very hard to beat. And so to the beach and the sights of Tangier. Blue skies, warm breeze, golden sands, the odd camel. In fact, it's time for a guided tour.
Hello, my name is Christine Samuelsson and this is my husband Magnus. And I'd like to show you around his body, my favorite parts. And I think I start with the legs. These legs, oh look at these legs, they're really huge. I can't reach around them, but the arms, oh, the arms is 56 centimeters around the arms. Look at the arms. Oh, I love them. And then you go down to this part. This part here, the bumps, is also good. But actually, my really favorite part is this. Look on the chest on this man. It's really beautiful, isn't it? But my favorite part, I won't tell you about that one.
And so to event 2. This is powerlifting to you and me. 110 kilograms. Jamie Barr managed 3 repetitions of the log lift, and likewise Michael Abdullah. That was a disappointing tally for both of them.
So far my results in this competition are too good. I'm going to try and stop myself from sinking like the Titanic. Hard man to keep down. I'll be back in the next couple of events.
But not much of a target for the other 2 to aim at.
And so the top 2 now going for maximum points. I must say, Wayne Price and Magnus Samuelsson, 2 massive men, and Jamie Barr looked pretty small next to them. And Jamie himself weighs 19.5 stones. Samuelsson, a spectacular performer. Price, a real solid performer on this one. Massive arms. And this the equivalent to lifting a 19-stone man above your head as many times as possible. Neck and neck so far. And now drawing level with the other 2, no problem for either Price or Magnus Samuelsson. Almost just like a weightlifting competition, but in the Olympic Games you just have to do it once. This time, endurance plays a massive part as well. Samuelsson, a farmer, he's used to manual labour. But I'm not quite sure he's used to the heat. Wayne Price from Pretoria in South Africa doesn't mind the heat one little bit. Samuelsson moves ahead by 1 repetition. This could be significant. Oh, he's so strong. He's gone ahead by 2. I just wonder what Wayne Price has got left. He's blowing hard now. 6 repetitions, well, that might be it, and Samuelsson puts another one on the board. Surely the Swede will take his 2nd victory in a row. He's been so impressive throughout this competition, throughout the whole year. In fact, Price is finished. Another 2nd place for the South African, and Samuelsson of Sweden wins the 2nd competition in a row. That was brilliant once again.
Wayne, you were 1 behind him all the way. Were you aware of that? Could you hear the counting?
Well, there was a bit of a pain there. I wanted to see how Magnus was doing and just follow him and hopefully just get the one ahead of him. But the arm just pumped up so much, they didn't want to anymore. So beat him by a better man on the day.
Yeah, I just heard we were doing 5 at the same time. So I just did number 6 very fast, and I tried to hold my 1 lift more the whole time. But it almost cost me the victory because that fast lift wasted all energy. After that I was gone. So I'm very happy now, thank you.
And rightly so, 9 repetitions, but you had the feeling he could have done a whole lot more. And so, at the halfway stage, the Swede really is exerting an iron grip on this heat, and the race effectively is for second place. Well, Morocco as a country has an amazing tradition for strongman acts and also for acrobats, and 26-year-old Hamad Zaki is the current king of Tangier Beach. It's all yours. Well, watching all that has been Wayne Price, who you've seen in action earlier on in the programme. Now, what did you make of that?
Well, as I say, we all got our own talents, and that was very, very impressive. I'm sure it takes a lot of balancing and a lot of power to get that type of pyramid done.
How many do you reckon you could get up, as they say?
Well, I don't know. It seems there's a lot of technique into getting the guys up, so I don't know. We'll have to see. If we can, I think if we can get that technique, I'm sure we'll be able to get a few up.
It's a challenge, isn't it?
It's a challenge. That's what the strongman's all about.
Okay, here we go with Challenge Wayne.
Smile, man. Oh.
So how was it for you?
Well, I mean, the weight's nothing. It's just getting the balance and everyone getting the right feel. But it's fun. It's so good.
So maybe that might be something you could branch into in the future.
Yeah, well, going to circus act in the future. Yeah.
Never know. But hey, this guy's impressive, isn't he?
Very impressive. I mean, obviously with spending time and working on it, and I mean, he's really got the knack of it. Well done, huh? Yeah.
So going into the second half of this heat, we're down in the centre of Tangier at the mosque, and Samuelsson leads and knows that if he wins this next event, a place in the final is his. Well, this next event's fairly straightforward, actually. It's called arm-over-arm pulling with this rope. Only thing is, though, 30 yards away, there's a very big truck. And first up was poor old Michael Abdullah, still on board the Titanic, and the iceberg getting ever nearer. Enough to make your moustache curl, in fact. He managed just over 12.5 metres.
And so on to Jamie Barr. He really is an impressive guy, and I think with more experience, he could be a great competitor for the future. This year's World's Strongest Man, well, it could have come just a little bit too soon for him to make a serious threat to go through to the final. Away we go. 16 tons of truck on its way down the 30-metre course. He's really got to put every ounce of strength into this one. The back, the legs, and of course the arms. Heading towards Michael Abdullah's marker. It really is an all-body exercise, this one. And of course, endurance once again. Not the favourite thing for these strong men. Away we go with Michael Abdullah's marker. The Scot has picked up an extra point. He just cruises past it. And Dougie Edmonds, the referee, giving the Scot some clues. He's shouting out the time. And he's still going pretty well. Oh, he's beginning to slow down a bit now. Getting close to 20 metres. Oh, my goodness, he's beginning to look absolutely exhausted. He desperately wishes to finish the course. I'm not sure he's going to do it. The clock ticking away. There's a 2-minute time limit. And he's actually got just under 10 metres to go. I think it's going to be too much. Well, he knew precisely what sort of pain he was going to suffer here. That's no consolation. Once you've pulled that 16-ton truck as far as you possibly can, I can't see he's going to do any more. It's around about 22 metres. Come on, Jamie, just one more effort. That's it. Another gutsy effort from Jamie Barr.
What's the sort of division of labour there between arms and legs?
When it's heavy like that, you've got to try and use as much legs as possible. But the more power you use, you've got to squeeze the rope tighter, and your forearms just go boom. And once they're blown, that's it. I was trying to wrap the rope round because I couldn't hold on to it any longer. You wrap it round and try and pull it.
You enjoyed it?
That's what we're here for. This is fun. I'm going to die now.
Well, I'm sure Jamie Barr will recover.
South Africa.
But next it's Wayne Price, back from the beach. And you saw precisely just how big this man is down there. He's got 22-inch arms, which really is bigger than most people's thighs. A former bodybuilder, and now a super strongman. He's got about a 60-inch chest as well, and I think that's going to do him pretty well here. Well, it's not too well away, not so fast. And this actually makes Jamie Barr's chances for an extra point look pretty good. He's not using his legs as much as he should do. Having said that, he's so strong in the arms and shoulders, maybe he doesn't have to use them. Ooh, he's even struggling to get towards 10 meters. Now then, remember, Michael Abdullah just over 12 meters, Jamie Barr 22. And Wayne Price said the farmer's walk was his weakest event. This one may turn out to be just that. He's slowing all the time. Just getting past Michael Abdullah. And almost coming to a grinding halt. Oh my goodness, the effort is intense. I don't think he's going to make it much further. Wayne Price is going to lose some valuable points here. Jamie Barr, for the time being, safe in first place. And Wayne Price shaking his head all the time. That is it. The South African is finished. Jamie Barr still leads. One man to go. A big surprise.
The rope's a very thick rope, and with small hands it's quite difficult to grip on. Having to use more legs, obviously you have to hold on to the rope far more, and that lets the hands go, you know. But I'm sure you'll see Magnus. He's a very good at his hand-to-hand technique, and I'm sure we'll see a good time with him.
Wayne Price, absolutely right.
Samuelsson, Sweden.
Samuelsson is a bit special. Now, if he can win this third event, he's assured of his place in the final, and that would be absolutely incredible. Samuelsson is going to be urged on by his wife once again, that's for sure. He's about 22 stones, and he's putting that body weight to good use now. Samuelsson going well, and the crowd are loving it. Oh, he's making this look easy. Cruises past the first two. Now heading towards Jamie Barr's lead, but whatever happens, it's certainly going to be good points for the Scot. His best performance so far. There he goes. Samuelsson has won it. I think he'll want to finish it as well. He knows he's won the competition. Jamie Barr safe for 3 points, but Samuelsson's going to do it once again. And looking good for the final. Oh, that was so easy. This man is a very special strength athlete indeed. Thank you very much. Samuelsson is unbeatable so far. And he goes through to the final.
How on earth do you make that look so easy?
Hand over hand pulls is normally my pride and joy, so it feels quite good for me to do this event. Before I started to do this sport, I did arm wrestling for many years, and that gave me quite strong arms. It came good in hand here.
Now you're into the final already.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for the fourth event tomorrow? Do you take it easy?
I hate to lose. I will try to win tomorrow as well.
And no matter what the sport, that's the attitude of a winner. 3 events, 3 wins. And a good performance there too from Jamie Barr, finishing in 2nd place. So with 1 event to go, Samuelsson's through, but Barr has 2nd place overall in his sights, the South African standing in his way. No sign of the Armada as we look out to Spain, but another glorious day down at the harbour. And even though this particular heat's already been decided, it's a question of pride for the Scot. It's the tyre flip, a 300-kilogram tyre to be moved down a 30-metre course.
And it's going to be interesting to see what Jamie Barr has got left. But first of all, Michael Abdullah. He's a real favourite here with the Moroccan crowd. Jamie Barr, quiet, thoughtful, but very, very determined. And Jamie Barr is streets ahead of Michael Abdullah. This is a very good effort from the Scot. He really is finishing with a flourish. Well, he's not going to make it through to the final, but he's made a name for himself in this one event. Oh, he's just short of the line. He needs another flip. Tantalisingly short. It's still going to be a very good effort for Jamie Barr. Push it over, that's it. 1 minute, 12 seconds. Well done, Jamie.
Shouldn't you be more out of breath than you are?
No. I am really. That's a better event for me, yeah. So I don't know what the time was, but we'll see. At least I finished it.
So what of Samuelsson? Could he make it 4 wins out of 4?
Magnus Samuelsson just under 4 meters to go. Now, watch the clock. Jamie Barr's time of 1 minute 12. The clock is ticking away. The Scot has won it. That's great news for him. Samuelsson, of course, through to the final. A major threat to everybody to lift the overall title, that's for sure. A magnificent competitor. Wayne Price, almost running out of time. 90 seconds is the time limit. He's not going to do it. The South African's challenge is finished. Samuelsson, magnificent. But Jamie Barr, a little bit of honour here. A victory in the last event for Jamie Barr. A brilliant performance.
How proud are you when he performs as well as this?
Yeah, now we didn't have any pressure on us, so it was quite fun actually to go here and see an event and really can be calm inside. So it was great fun, but I'm really proud. He's the best man.
Let me ask you about the final. How confident are you?
Very. There's a lot of very good guys in the final, and whoever had his peak at the moment will win it, so it's very open. I will try to hang in there as long as I can.
Well, what a way for Jamie Barr to go out of the competition, all guns blazing and inflicting the only defeat on Samuelsson. But all eyes are on the Swede. A hugely impressive performance over both days, and he really must be one of the leading contenders to be the world's strongest man. In the other heat, Heinz Olesch of Germany was level after 3 events with Peter de Bruin of South Africa. Their tyre flip would decide it.
Another of these incredibly tense winner-takes-all situations. Heinz Olesch on this side, level on points with Peter de Bruin of South Africa. Whoever crosses the line first goes into the final. Heinz Olesch has been there before. Peter de Bruin is a new name to world's strongest man, and he's just ahead at the moment. Although Olesch, the bigger of the 2 men, by about 2 stones, is staying with him. Peter de Bruin, over the last couple of years, he's been a tester in these events. This could be his moment of glory. Oh, it's neck and neck. It's desperately close. The South African has just got the edge. I don't think the 90-second time limit is going to be an issue here. Olesch closes in on the South African. Who's going to do it? 300 kilograms turned over and over again. Olesh in the lead on one push. Then the South African goes back into the lead again. They've both got the strength, but who's got the timing right? Olesh looks as though he might be running out of steam just a little bit. Tremendous cheers for both men. They're getting very close to the finish, but the clock is ticking away. 13 seconds to go. Whoever finishes ahead is going to make it through to the final. Olesh cannot shift that tyre. He's blown it. Peter de Bruyn goes into the final. Oh, absolutely exhausted, but he's done it.
What a great race that was.
It was a hard one for me. I didn't plan on going so far. But I had a good first flip, and it gave me the edge on Heinz, and I knew I just had to stay in front of him. And I must tell you, it's terrifying seeing Heinz just behind you, and you can see how he's catching me. But luckily for me, the time was on my side.
So de Bruyn breaks the European stranglehold, but as you might expect, the Scandinavians have the greatest representation, with 3 out of the 6 finalists already decided. Well, many congratulations on getting to the final, but the thing is, you may be big, you may be strong, you may have the most beautiful wife, but like all Swedes, you're just so boring. In our next programme, Lee Bowers represents England in a really tough heat that includes South Africa's strongest man, Gerrit Badenhorst from the High Veld.
And the contest continues tomorrow afternoon at the later time of 3:40 here on BBC One.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Still in Tangier, still looking for the world's strongest man. A guy so strong, he could not only pick up a camel, he could eat this one for main course, and have that for pudding. In our previous 2 heats, the massive Swede Magnus Samuelsson, with glamorous wife and mentor Christina at his side throughout, blew away the opposition. It was much tighter in the other heat, though. Peter de Bruyn of South Africa fighting off the challenge of Germany's Heinz Olesh to become a very relieved finalist. So there are the 6 through so far. Riku Kiri of Finland, Wout Zylstra of Netherlands, Torfi Olofsson of Iceland, Flemming Rasmussen of Denmark, Peter de Bruyn of South Africa, Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden. So 6 down and 4 to go. Isn't that soft? Hello, how are you? Well, of course, the whole point of this competition is that there are 10 heats, each of 4 contestants and 4 disciplines. The winners go through to the final at the end of the week. And we're going to concentrate on this heat now!
Hi, I'm Lee Bowers. This one's a tough heat, a mixture of experience and some new faces. The experience comes from Gerrit Badenhorst. For a long time, he was South Africa's strongest man. He's heading towards 40 now, and the question we're all asking is, does he want it enough? Bojades from Spain is definitely one of the happiest guys on the circuit. Why shouldn't he be? He looks good, and he's definitely hungry for a place in the final. Ralph Bear is another new face in the tournament. He's a big, strong lad, but to be honest, we don't know much about him. And then there's me. I'm not the biggest lad in the heat, but I'm certainly the busiest. 6 events already this year, and I'm as prepared as I'll ever be.
We start, as ever, at the harbour. Yet another glorious day, with the flags of all the competing nations fluttering in the mild breeze. And this is the event they all hate. It's called the Super Yoke, and it weighs 355 kilograms.
This event will hurt the most on your legs and your back, and it will be all about balance and time.
And our commentator, as ever, is Paul Dickinson.
And so theory has it that Badenhorst should be the favourite, but with 3 newcomers to World's Strongest Man, this could be a fascinating confrontation.
South Africa.
Badenhorst, the rugby player, the weightlifter, the bodybuilder, and of course an incredible strongman over the years.
Bujadas Lopez, Spain.
Gustavo Bujadas from Spain, Spain's strongest man, one of the newcomers.
Ralph Bear, Austria.
Ralph Bear, his first ever international competition. This man is a sports fanatic.
Lee Bowers, England.
Lee Bowers, nervous moments for him. His first ever competition, he entered it from a local newspaper advert and he won it and he's never looked back. Well, the one thing that everybody is agreed on is this is one of the toughest competitions in World's Strongest Man, the equivalent of carrying 5 14-stone men over 25 meters. It's very tough.
Lift.
Dougie Edmonds, the man in charge as usual. Ralph Bear gets away well. Bujadas has been left on the starting blocks. Bowers going well, and it's Badenhorst on the far side. The Austrian, though, in charge, but he's being challenged by the South African. Badenhorst, I think, is just going to win it just. Oh, goes flying. Ralph Bear has actually dropped it on the line, and Lee Bowers comes through to take second place, just out of shot. That was brilliant for England. Ralph Bear thinks he's got it, but I can assure you, Lee Bowers is second.
Well done, Lee.
The last 10 metres, you seem to be struggling a bit there. Tell us where was it hurting then?
I actually felt my bicep, you know, by pulling the 2 things together. I think I took it too far out. I pulled a bit on my bicep, so it was sore.
Was there a point where you thought, now, am I going to let it go or not?
No. You must always be positive and finish. You can't just put it down.
When you saw the guy next door to you drop it just short of the line, you must have thought, great, I've got to get to the end.
Well, to be honest, I wasn't really taking any notice of what anybody else was doing. It was just a matter of concentrating on my own race. If he dropped it, that's his hard luck, really, isn't it? He should have finished it.
All fair in love, war, and the world's strongest man. A victory there for the man from the Highveld, Lee Bowers, in second. And for our second event, it's back down to the seafront. A very straightforward event. All you have to do is lift the car up. Now, most of you watching at home weigh between 70 and 90 kilograms. This car weighs in excess of 1,000. But as if that wasn't enough, there's 2 people inside. Hello.
Hello.
And it's going to be a pretty rough ride for the people in the back of that car. Ralph Bear. On the right-hand side, Bujadas needs something good here to stay in the hunt for that final place. The competitors getting strapped on because, of course, grip is going to be very, very important in this event. That's one way of getting yourself psyched up. Off we go. Bear away to a cracking start. Look at how he crashes that down, but Bujadas, oh my goodness, he didn't get off the start line in the first event. It looks as though it's going to happen all over again. Austria have got a big strong man here, 6 repetitions, but Spain are struggling desperately. Ralph Baer. He hasn't been in strongman competition all that long, but already establishing himself as a very fine competitor.
30.
Bang! Down it goes again. 13 repetitions. That is fantastic. Bouchardis cannot believe it. I think embarrassment more than anything else, but there's no need for Austria and Ralph Baer to be embarrassed. He's acquitted himself very, very well here. And setting a target which Badenhorst and Bowers are going to find hard to beat. Having said that, Badenhorst is an ex-world record holder in deadlift, but that is it. He's finished. A great effort by the Austrian. 15 repetitions. Total exhaustion for Ralph Baer. Total frustration for the Spaniard.
Lee Bowers, England, and Herrick Badenhorst, South Africa.
Well, Lee Bowers has chosen one of the most experienced competitors in the world of lifting weights like this. Herrick Badenhorst, a one-time world champion in powerlifting. This exercise should suit him perfectly. But Bowers did so well in that first event to pick up a second place. 90 seconds the time limit, and Ralph Baer's lead is 15 repetitions. Away we go. Badenhorst slightly the faster, but Bowers staying with him. Look at the strain in the shoulders and the neck. Badenhorst just ahead. I think he had one disallowed there. I'm not sure why, but Bowers drawing within one repetition. In fact, he's level now. Badenhorst one ahead. Oh, my goodness, this is fascinating. Both men trying to close in on Ralph Baer's lead. I think Badenhorst had another one disqualified there.
12.
Lee Bowers with the supersuit on. That's very tight lycra, supporting the back and the legs. Now, come on, Lee. He's going well. He's actually moved ahead of the South African for the first time. This is extraordinary. Badenhorst was the favourite. Now Lee Bowers is really coming on strong, but Badenhorst comes back with an extra one. 15 for Lee Bowers, 13 for Badenhorst. Lee Bowers, one more, and he's got it. Oh, he's got to get one more to go past the Austrian. Just 15 seconds to go before the time runs out.
Last 10 seconds.
Oh, this is incredible. Ralph Baer must be sweating now. Lee Bowers is level. Badenhorst the favourite within one repetition. It could not be closer. Lee Bowers equal first. Badenhorst has lost valuable points. That was extraordinary, and I'm sure he'll take referee Dougie Edmonds to task over those that were disqualified. But a brilliant performance by Lee Bowers. Badenhorst left to wonder what went wrong.
I did not expect to do well in that event at all, but fortunately, done okay.
You're in equal first place. Well done.
Thank you.
How much are you listening to the other guys score as well?
Very much. I was trying for one more, for 16. It just wasn't there. Never mind.
Dougie, what do you mean not by touchdown? Didn't touch the ball. Not bullshit, man. I can feel it touch the ball.
Well, one of these situations which always produces extra tension and extra pressure. They've got judges sitting around the perimeter. The debate will go on for hours yet.
Two questions. One or two of those were ruled illegal. Not happy about that.
Not happy about it. I could feel I touched the ground, yeah.
And we saw you yesterday with your arm in a fair bit of pain, and it's pretty heavily strapped here.
Was it all right? Good, yeah. No problem. I won this event, 17 reps. No problem. I touched the ground.
Any appeal?
That's what I say. You know, what can you say? It's overruled. So.
Have to win the next one.
Yeah. All you can do.
The rules are basically, from the first lift, they must straighten and momentarily stand still in the locked position. Thereafter, they must go down and touch the board. Now, Herrick, on at least 3 occasions, that didn't touch the board.
Well, it's obviously hard to tell, but the judge's decision is final, and they're brave guys. I mean, would you argue with Herod? So what that meant was that Bowers and Bear shared the spoils, with the South African back in third place, and who knows what effect that might have on the overall outcome of this heat. And so it's Perm 1 from 3 to go through to the final, but the poor Spaniard appears out of his depth. Well, as you've probably gathered from those first two events, Gustavo Bujarás of Spain is unlikely to become the world's strongest man. But stick a paintbrush or a pencil in his hand, and he's got to be the world's strongest artist. And he's very kindly agreed to do my portrait. Oh, by the way, he's from Barcelona.
Barcelona is a nice place for living, but I like this place because I like to draw beautiful bodies.
Goes without saying.
I was a bodybuilder, then I become a strong man, but I think that this event is too hard for me. In fact, International Federation of Strength Athletes have asked me to produce a new logo for them. It needs a bit more work.
So, how is my portrait going?
I think that it's very nice.
So into the second half of what's been a keenly contested heat so far, and this is the wheelbarrow race. Strength, power, but also balance coming into play here.
It's a big grip event, so it's a matter of holding on as long as you possibly can.
It's a very tight group, this, isn't it?
Yeah, but everything seems to have been close, you know, in this particular heat, which is good for the crowd, but not so good for the competitors.
And so one of the most extraordinary events in World's Strongest Man, where balance is going to be absolutely crucial for Bujarás. Way off the pace, but developing a fantastic rapport with the crowd. He's a very popular man indeed. 500 kilograms it weighs. Oh my goodness, he's in trouble already. 25 meters. The length they've got to go. The weight isn't really a problem, but the balance is so delicate. He's getting tremendous support, as always, from the crowd, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Grit, determination is there in abundance. Oh, he's had enough already. They'll have to get the tape measure out and find out exactly what the distance is, round about 6 meters or thereabouts. Frustration once again for the Spaniard. This is a very tough baptism in World's Strongest Man for Bujarás. Ralph Baer, well, he goes in a few moments' time. But first of all, it's Gerrit Badenhorst. That right arm is heavily strapped. He's certainly been in the wars over the last few years in World's Strongest Man. Some terrible injuries, but he's back again and determined to get through to the final. He only picked up 2 points in the last event for third place. That was extraordinary. What can he do here? Concentrating like crazy to keep the balance. He's going well. Oh, this is good from Gerrit Badenhorst. Magnificent. The wheelbarrow hasn't touched the ground at all. He's going to finish. That is fantastic. 16 seconds. He's back, and he's back strong. No messing around there. No problems with the judges. The South African has got it right just when it matters most. Lee Bowers prowling in the background. He'll be the last competitor to go. Badenhorst wondering if it'll be enough. I think it will.
16.56 seconds.
16 seconds. That was fantastic.
Well, when you're first up, it's not easy to say, you know, it was good. I was first looking at the other guys. I say the time now, and I think for me, this is a big event. I must win it, otherwise I'm in trouble.
It's a very tight group, isn't it?
I'm on my way home again then. If I'm second or third here, must win it.
Well, Badenhorst was on his way home after the heats last year. He does not want a repeat of that. A lot will depend on what the Austrian can do now. But he's chasing a very quick time. The first few meters, absolutely crucial to a successful run. Oh, he's going all over the place. He's more like a drunken driver than somebody who's pushing in a straight line. Badenhorst is safe. The South African still in the lead. The Austrian cruising into second place, but remember, it's the overall leader after event 2, Lee Bowers, who'll be the last to go. Just over 30 seconds. The Austrian is exhausted. But how many points will he get at the end of this event?
How difficult?
Very difficult to keep the balance. Gerd is great.
Lee Bowers, I'm sure, will have learned a lot from watching everybody, especially Gerrit Badenhorst, who's a true master at getting this one right. Now then, in Lee Bowers' wildest dreams, I bet he didn't think he was going to be in the lead at the halfway stage. He's got a lot to prove now, and he's really up for this event, that's for sure. The knee wraps just to protect him from the strain of lifting 500 kilograms and then pushing it as fast as possible. Away we go. Oh, he's in trouble already. This is desperate. Now, the first target is the Spaniard, but already Lee Bowers is in trouble. He's having problems with his grip. He's shaking his hands. There's a bit of pain there. Well, we've already seen how strong he is. Sheer strength, though, in this event is not enough. Come on, Lee. An extra point is going to do it. He's down again. Well, he's shaking his head. He's asking if he's past Bouhardis's mark. That extra point could be crucial in determining if he can make it through to the final after the last event. He's got another, what, 40 seconds or thereabouts to make it count. Now, come on. He's lost it. He's had enough. That is desperate. I think he's in last place. Oh, my goodness gracious me. That was the problem. That is a serious setback for Lee Bowers. Badenhorst, of course, has got the 4 points. The Austrian in second place. Lee Bowers just looking for the measurement. I think it's less than Bouhardis. 6:36 the target. I don't think he's got it. 5 meters 96 has been given. He'll only get a single point, and that is a big setback to his dream of making it through to the world's strongest man final.
Just couldn't do any more?
No, terrible event for me, that. Look at my hands, they're a mess. But never mind. I'm just tired, you know. Still, I've got to be positive for the next event. See what comes tomorrow, you know.
So damage to Bowers' hands, but also to his pride, and that 4th place almost certainly rules him out of contention for getting into the final. So with one event to go, Gerrit Badenhorst is in pole position with 10 points, 1.5 points ahead of Ralph Baer. Bowers needs a miracle. So the tyre flip will decide this heat, all sorts of permutations, but the South African surely is favourite to go through.
And so to the first of 2 heats. This one has got tremendous English interest with Lee Bowers. Bouhardis, on the other hand, no chance of reaching the final, but a very popular man here in Morocco.
Lee Bowers.
And Lee Bowers, well, there's a possibility. It's only a mathematical possibility, though, that he can make it through to the final. He's got to win this, and Badenhorst would have to finish last. A real testing time for this man in his first major international competition. Bouhardis, fantastic artist. It would have to be a masterpiece of an effort here to win it. It really would. Now, come on, Lee Bowers. Buchardes, he is a strong man, but he's got to learn these events if he's going to make any headway through to the final in future years. Lee Bowers has learnt very, very quickly in just a few events what it's like to compete with the best. Bowers ahead, and that's the way it's got to stay. In third place overall at the moment, behind Ralph Baer and the leader Gerrit Badenhorst. 30 metres the target. We're familiar with this event now. The 300-kilogram tyre at the end of 4 grueling events. Well, it really is a trial of strength, determination and endurance as well. Buchardes is not out of it. 90 seconds is the time limit. They may well run out of time before the distance is completed, and then an agonizing wait for Lee Bowers as the 2 big men come out in the final heat. But Bowers is ahead. That's good news for him. That's the end. Buchardes and Lee Bowers will go back to the tent and sweat and wait and be very, very nervous at the outcome of the next couple of minutes.
I'm glad to have gained the experience of the first competition of this standard. Hopefully, when I come back next year with the experience I've gained, I'll be in a much better position to challenge for a place in the final.
When you talk about the experience you've gained, to be a bit more specific, what is it that you've learnt that maybe you didn't know before?
I'm going to have to be a lot stronger than I am now.
And so to the last heat. Again, it's very, very tight in terms of points. Badenhorst's experience should take him through, but Ralph Baer is the new kid on the block, and he's performed extremely well. Now then, what about Gerrit Badenhorst's arm? More treatment from the physiotherapist and the doctor. More strapping. Can it hold out? The Austrian is just ahead at the moment. Now Badenhorst, if he is beaten by Ralph Baer, he's got to go past Lee Bowers' mark. He mustn't fall 2 places behind the Austrian, otherwise he's going to be on his way home. The Austrian, 1 flip ahead. That could be significant. They call this man back in South Africa the Bloemfontein Bull. He's absolutely massive. Ralph Baer's no midget either, and he's come on strong during this competition. Like Lee Bowers, learning all the time, and he's still ahead of Gerrit Badenhorst. The clock could play a significant role as well. Whatever Badenhorst does, Ralph Baer is staying just ahead, but now the Austrian, well, is he struggling? Badenhorst, if he gets this one over, could go ahead. I think he does and just under 20 seconds to go. Oh, there's only inches in it. Now then, what about the mark of Lee Bowers? There it is. If he goes past it, he's surely in the final, that's for sure. 5 seconds to go, but that doesn't matter, he's done it. Ralph Baer is going to finish behind Lee Bowers in this competition. They'll draw level on points overall, but Badenhorst can save himself the airfare home. He's made it through to the final, but at what cost? And Ralph Baer absolutely exhausted.
Were you almost doing that one-handed?
Yeah, I couldn't work with this arm. Unfortunately, very sore. Every time I lifted, it was like 50 feet wants to steer apart. But unfortunately, I could have managed to roll it. In the warm-ups, I couldn't. It was very sore. But maybe the adrenaline and the drive to get through to the final pushed me in.
So victory for Gerrit Badenhorst. Narrowly, though, from Lee Bowers, and the Englishman, a very creditable performance there. So a second South African through to the final, and Bowers gets second by virtue of more high placings in each of those 4 events. In the day's other heat, the only Grand Slam. 4 disciplines, 4 wins for Mark Filippi from the USA. Short, squat, but immensely powerful.
Came over to get there, and
And once I got there, I wanted to improve on my performance. And I'm not going to say I'm going to finish first or last. I'm just going to do the best I can, and whatever happens, happens.
Well, sadly, Gerrit Badenhorst's arm injury was so severe he had to withdraw on doctor's advice, so Lee Bowers replaced him. A more global look to the finalists, though, now. 8 different nations and an Englishman amongst them.
Talk about lucky, sneaking in through the back door like that. Couldn't even win your own heat.
Just 2 more finalists to find, and in our next programme, Stuart Murray from Scotland faces the toughest task of all against defending champion Jukka Ahola of Finland.
Our afternoon film next on BBC One. Have a laugh at the expense of John Candy and Dan Aykroyd as they head off into the great outdoors.